Hey guys, welcome to the Field of 68 YouTube channel. If you like what you see here, hit that subscribe button and you'll get more college basketball content just like this.
Let's start, guys, with what was one of the best, if not the best, wins in college basketball this season. And that's what Kansas did to Houston. Really quickly, they opened as a home underdog under Bill Self for just the second time ever. They led for 39 minutes, 69% from the field against the number one defense in the country, get the win 78-65. Jeff, how dominant was this performance for Kansas tonight?
Incredible. I mean, really was from start to finish. Kansas was absolutely dominant on both ends of the court. I mean, they came out, made 9 of the first 10 shots against a Houston team that, oh, by the way, is the best defensive team in every area and every metric you want to look at. But Kansas got it going early, and then they got the crowd going. And Kelvin Sampson said after the game, he was like, listen, whoever the hell put Kansas as an underdog at Allen Fieldhouse basically screwed us here. And they did, because Kansas, the players knew they needed to win this one. I talked to DeJuan Harris after the game, and he said, like, we knew it. We knew people were doubting us coming off some of these road losses to UCF and West Virginia. And they had to make a statement. And they did today, and they did it with Johnny Furphy. Okay? As good as Hunter Dickinson was, as good as the defense was, Kevin McCullough, Johnny Furphy is to the rescue because he's become a dude now. Now you got 5 dudes instead of 4, and that's the biggest difference now with this Kansas team is Furphy was great in the first half, and then you know what they had to do, Houston? They tried to lock him down in the second half, and then everybody else kind of heated up. So Kansas looked like a team to me that maybe if they can get one more dude off the bench to be decent, they could win 6 straight.
Yeah, I think the interesting thing, Jeff, and you were there so you could speak to it, is that this was a strange one in that most analytics and most metrics had this as to be on the road, a pretty decisive win for Houston. So, and I saw you tweet the videos, and honestly, like that atmosphere, how powerful is that? Like just to have that behind you in that environment, you know, how big is that for Kansas? Because it really did. It felt like it carried them today in a lot of ways.
It did. I mean, it's the best atmosphere in college basketball. You know, I was at Duke earlier this year, and while the student section is great at Duke and his media members were on top of the court, were right there, there's nothing like Allen Fieldhouse. Nothing, period. I know Tyler may fight me on this and say the Dean Dome or something like that, but it's not even close. I mean, Allen Fieldhouse, it's worth like 7 or 8 points, and I'm not even including the refs in this thing. So, again, this Kansas team, totally different at home than on the road, like most great teams. But, again, I feel like they got that extra piece now with Furphy, and they guarded today. They shut down Jamal Shed. They got out in transition. And again, they showed they belong, maybe even at the top. Bill Self said to me after the game, he said, listen, when we're good, when we play like that, we can beat anybody. We showed it. We beat UConn here. Obviously, it was without Stephen Castle, but they beat UConn. They've beaten Kentucky. Now they've beaten Houston. And Kelvin Sampson said, like, listen, if they play like that, like nobody's really beating them.
As you guys know by now, we've partnered with BetMGM this season. We'll be using BetMGM lines to make all of our picks, and we'll have special offers for the listeners and the viewers of the Field of 68 each and every week of the college basketball season. We have a special offer that will be available starting on Tuesday, January 9th and running through Monday, February 12th, the morning after Super Bowl 58. If you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, in honor of the big game, you can use the bonus code FIELD158 and you'll get $158 in free bets on your first wager with BetMGM, regardless of whether or not you win that first bet. Here's how you make it work. Download the BetMGM app. Sign up using the bonus code FIELD158. Deposit at least $5 and place your first wager on any game. You'll receive $158 in bonus bets regardless of the outcome of your bet. Just make sure that you use that bonus code FIELD158 when you sign up. And remember, BetMGM is now available under one wallet in select states. As a New Jersey resident, this is super convenient when I have to go cover games in New York or Philly, which happens quite a bit. When you cross state borders, you just log into your existing account and fire away. You don't have to create separate accounts in each state. It's easy, it's simple, it's clean. And most importantly, we have some fun stuff coming up for the heart of the college basketball season. Bet insurance tokens, college hoops odd boosts, and my favorite, a nice juicy parlay boost. So download the BetMGM app and sign up today. Field 158.
Tyler, the fact
Jeff,
that Jeff would, yeah, please. I mean, the fact that he would do this on the day that you got honored at the Dean Dome, it feels like a low blow, quite frankly.
Hey, there's no fight for me. I know how good Phog Allen is and their environment and their atmosphere. Nobody wins at Phog. It's the toughest place in college. I will agree with Jeff on that. But the Smith Center tonight was rocking. But anyways, my question, Jeff, is Kansas dominated Houston on the boards tonight. And to me, when I look at it, was this a bad shooting night by Houston, which it shows on the box score as well, or did Kansas just dominate them on the glass and defensively throughout the whole aspect of the game?
So part of it, Tyler, is that Kansas didn't miss shots. So there just weren't as many, rebounds to be had. Houston came out in the second half and they played harder. They played tougher. But Kelvin Sampson said, I was disappointed with their effort in the first half. They were playing from behind early, and then they started taking some bad shots, frankly. Kansas made some tough shots early, guys that, honestly, Kelvin Sampson wanted them to take some of these shots. They made them. And then it became Jamal Shead just making mistakes. L.J. Cryer didn't do anything in the first half. He carried them in the second half. And they had a chance late, and then Parker Brown comes up with the shots of the game. He hits a big three. Bill Self said to me after the game, he's like, I don't think he's made a three all year. I think he's made a couple, but he made a huge one to seal the game, makes a couple free throws the next possession. So that's what they need, though. They need those guys coming off the bench, Marco Jackson, Parker Brown, even Nick Timberlake a little bit, to just give him a little bit, give him some minutes. Give them a couple minutes to be able to rest those other guys, because that starting five can hang and is probably better than anybody in the country, maybe even including UConn, but right there with UConn. Not as good. They're right there with them.
Thank you for watching the Field of 68. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here, hit that like button, share this link with your friends, or check out the description for some other places that you can consume Field 68 content.